Computer boot sequence initiated. Accessing library computer data. NCC 10535. Starship Tempest.
In a large alien control center, several human-looking aliens stand around their various consoles, tense with the anticipation of a once-in-a-lifetime event. Final go status for engaging drive system. Alien tech powers up, and massive mechanical elements around them slide and lock into place. All systems functioning. Drive system is go. The alien tech continues to spool up with a building, thrumming intensity. All who are aboard, we are about to engage the trajector drive for the first time.
Prepare for spatial jump.
The captain's message booms across the interior of a massive habitat, large enough that entire villages, farms, and even a river sit nestled inside. Overhead, a planet consumed by volcanic lava hangs amongst the starry night sky. Two massive doors slide closed, and the planet and all the stars around it disappear from view. Engage the drive. The thrumming blossoms into a magnificent crescendo, and then fades away. There is a tense moment of quiet as the crew waits for alarms or explosions. None come. Well, 700 light years down, 35,000 to go. Much softer now, the thrumming begins building again. Above the habitat, the night sky is gone.
Space. The final frontier. These are the missions of the starship Tempest. Set between Captains Kirk and Picard, 5 friends stumble their way through their first role-playing game as the crew of this Federation starship, exploring strange new worlds, keeping peace in the galaxy, defending their keyboards from kids and cats, and going clumsily, if not boldly, where no one has gone before. Captain's Log, Stardate 16581.1. The Tempest is altering course to investigate an unusually large subspace signature emanating nearby, but which seems to be traveling at impulse speeds. We're a fair distance from the usual interstellar space lanes at the moment, so it's a minor mystery what a ship would be doing all the way out here, let alone one as large as the impulse signature is suggesting.
Okay. So, the Tempest is investigating a unusual subspace signature emanating nearby. You guys were within Federation space, but you're in kind of the boonies of it in a sparsely traveled area of it. So, there's this weird subspace signal that you've been sent to investigate. It's the amount of the subspace distortion, right? So, if the subspace distortion is like the wake that a boat leaves behind, is huge. It's the size of a ship traveling as fast as a ship can possibly be. However, whatever this thing is appears to be traveling just at half impulse, so rather slowly. So that seems to indicate that this thing is enormous. So
big ship.
You have been tasked to investigate. Your directives for this mission are 1, to explore the alien craft and determine its technological basis and capabilities. Number 2, if possible and appropriate, make first contact with any crew or inhabitants. And 3, uphold General Order 1 if applicable, which is the prime directive. Now you are approaching this object in space.
Maybe something's wrong with their chambers coil.
Their coil emissions are normal. Okay, so
maybe they should use a different octane.
Have they used a fuel injection cleaner?
The Tempest is now approaching this ship.
Are
So
they
tell me what
using
you guys-
regular unleaded, or...?
Yeah, there was a problem on the Excelsior where instead of dilithium, they put in oil, and it was a real It was a real problem.
We had to flush the space transmission.
It got everywhere.
Yeah.
It was a total mess.
Can we get
Man.
a preliminary scan of the alien vessel?
You guys want to see
Yeah, go
pictures
ahead.
of what the Excelsior looked like when that happened? It was gnarly.
I'd like to see.
It was pretty
Go ahead
gnarly.
and do a science and control with the ship's sensors and science, difficulty 2.
I think that would be Terra or in teal.
This poor ensign gets in there. He looks like a total tar monster when he comes out of it. And he was just a total mess.
And then he killed Tasha Yar. What a jerk.
Right. And and so he wanted to take revenge on Starfleet. So that's how that happened. Anyway, it's a fun day though. Kind of one for the scrapbook.
I'll do the ship. What were they again, Brian?
Sensors and science for the ship, control science for the person. And since Teal is the doctor, we really should have an actual science officer at some point, right?
Yes, we should.
Do you guys want to make that now, or keep going with Dr. Teal?
I mean, we don't want to fill out the ship like completely because then we're not going to be playing our characters most of the time.
Okay, it's totally up to you guys.
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
I can science. I'm a pilot.
As long as, I mean, because the issue before was, although we've adjusted it now, the issue before was like, well, are Teal's stats actually calibrated for the purpose, right? So are you guys not failing?
Both things.
Or are you guys failing tasks where you really shouldn't be because the stats aren't jiggered right?
Person's
But
wrong, yeah.
it's up to you guys.
I think we're okay.
Let's stay the course for now, and then we can broach it later, I think.
Okay. So, okay, then whoever, go ahead and do the task as the ship and the science officer.
Difficulty 1, I'm presuming?
2.
2. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh,
It's a big ship.
it's a big ship. You have to scan real hard.
The Tempest gets a 1 success.
Okay.
It's a big ship. Wouldn't it be easier to scan? But that's just me. I'll just sit down now.
Teal?
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh,
Well,
boy.
we succeeded,
Okay.
but
You did succeed.
What'd I do? Oh, 1 critical fail. Good for me.
Critical fail.
a
Still
success.
success.
So we pass.
You did pass.
TJ rolled weapons?
Huh?
I didn't roll anything.
Oh, I was in the wrong area. Sorry.
Complication or threat?
Right.
Threat,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. Okay, so you conduct a preliminary scan. You scan the whole thing of this enormous ship, and you, basically at the beginning, you can tell that there are 2 principal sections to this. Obviously, the bulk of the ship is this enormous cylinder that is 20 kilometers in length and about 2 kilometers in diameter. And the bulk of the ship is this huge cylinder, but up on top is kind of a superstructure that's more akin to a regular starship, along like the back quarter or back fifth of the cylinder. Your scans can penetrate that portion like they would basically any other regular ship, and it comes across as a regular ship. However, your scans can't really penetrate into the cylinder area of the ship as well. You can tell that there's a lot of space, and you can tell that there's life signs of some kind and some amount in there, but your sensors can't really get more specific than that.
Okay.
20 kilometers in length.
Yes.
Boy.
Mr. Worf, fire.
Very, very large ship.
How far away are we?
However far you want to be.
Okay.
Pull up right alongside.
Okay.
Hey, Captain. Look, I don't want to be a gloomy Gus, but if you recall from history, there was that time with the whales where there was that whole thing with the cylinder. Big cylinders kind of give me the willies.
I get it, because Willie was a whale.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
That's not...
different kind of whale.
Nope.
Listen.
So, anyway, what I'm saying is, as long as when we pull up alongside it, we send them the audio signatures of happy, and they need to be happy whales. And if we can just have those whales convey in whatever whale language they've got, everything's great. Like that would
Do you
just
think
be.
there's whales in
It
there?
would make me feel better.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but remember also when Starfleet runs into a giant ship, there are also dinosaurs.
What?
Sometimes there are dinosaurs, yeah.
Okay, so
sometimes
we'll
there are
provide this
sometimes
in
there
there.
are Voyager probes, sometimes there are whales, and sometimes there are
Let's
dinosaurs.
just cover all our bases and do
What's in
all of
there?
Star Trek.
Yeah. So when we say we're putting out, hailing on all frequencies, we mean also all species.
Yes.
Okay, well, part of what comes back with the scan that you just did, at the bottom is a little note that says, definitely not the whale probe, even though it kind of looks like it.
Okay.
It's polite of them to notate that for us.
That is polite. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily mean it's the whale probe, but
Yeah.
I imagine that there is there are planets out there that each species is assigned one planet, and they come to check on Earth every once in a while. So there's a dog planet, there's going to be some like a chicken planet, and
this is
know.
actually the kangaroo probe.
yeah, if it's right. So, yes.
And the kangaroos are like, yeah, we're fine, man. We're fine.
So we're gonna want to send
it's
back.
all right, mate.
We're gonna want to send back a good day.
Now this is just Star Trek Horsemen.
Yeah. So this ship is called the Rohan. Teal, can you get another scan to estimate the total mass of the vessel compared to its volume? I want to get an idea of whether or not it's hollow.
Including kangaroos.
And kangaroos.
Yeah.
Include a kangaroo scan, please.
Oh, okay. Is that
If you want to spend a point of momentum, I'll let you.
Yeah.
okay? Is that control and science again?
No, not a task. Just spending a point of
No,
momentum.
let's roll for it.
What?
Okay.
Oh.
Well, difficulty 2.
Well, part
That's
of
it.
momentum is just to get free information.
Exactly. That which, yes, the obtain information, I think, is what the rule is called. So that's what I was considering it as. But if you want to roll a task.
I accidentally rolled anyway, so
Boom.
I got
Okay.
2 successes.
Teal succeeds.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you succeed. Yes, a large majority of the space inside the cylinder appears to be empty, or at least empty space. Again, like the back third or quarter ish is filled in. It seems to be some kind of giant engine system or some kind of giant piece of machinery where the engine would be. But forward of that, and the majority of the actual cylinder part is empty space.
Were there any kangaroos?
Any kangaroos? Any people? Humans?
There are some life signs of indeterminate kind and number. You can't.
Kangaroos?
That's gotta be kangaroos.
Gotta be kangaroos. There's no other
Gotta be.
option.
All right.
There's couldn't be anything else.
From where I'm sitting here,
All right. Well, I guess we need to get a even closer.
hail them.
Hey, that's a good idea. Wow. How come we didn't do that to start? Let's open a channel, see if they'll answer.
Okay.
Friendly greetings on all frequencies.
All frequencies and species, sir.
No answer.
Son of a bitch.
Did they hear that part?
Friendly greetings in kangaroo only.
Good day. I'm Russell Crowe. Hello.
What noise do kangaroos make?
I just told you. They say,
Good
Good day.
day.
I'm Russell Crowe.
I'm Russell Crowe.
And the female, well, that's the male kangaroos. The female ones are like, I'm Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton.
And now we've just alienated the entire country of Australia. Good work, everybody.
I'm so sorry, Australia.
So much for that listenership.
Oh,
So yeah.
but I really like Australia.
Fun fact: Australia is the #1 most common answer on Jeopardy. So if you're ever on Jeopardy and you have
Really?
no idea what the answer is, just guess Australia.
Australia.
Okay. Yeah. You try to hail. There's no answer of any kind.
Are there any sorts of docking ports or anything that we could cozy up to?
Yeah, they're docking ports. You could also, again, the cylinder is not giving you great readings, but the superstructure part on top is coming back as, a normal ship that your sensors can penetrate and understand normally.
Okay.
Are there people or are there humanoid life signs in there?
Yeah, there are definitely no life signs in the superstructure part of the vessel.
Okay.
Wait. So the engine. So I'm presuming that's an engineering section. Is the back upper half?
Yeah, so the back end of the cylinder is the engine or the machinery, and then the superstructure on top of the cylinder is the kind of what is reading as a more typical starship.
Okay. So that is uninhabited. The giant cylinder is inhabited, but we can also get more resolution on our scans for the engineering section. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do we need to run another scan to get more information from the engineering section, or can you just give it to us because we already did that?
Yeah, since you did too, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. What kind of propulsion? What's the scoop?
Well, the superstructure part appears to be inactive. There's definitely no life signs there of any kind. There are no significant power readings of any kind of any active machinery or systems engaged. You may be getting a little bit in terms of like system in sleep or standby mode, so a little bit of power readings, but not enough to indicate an active situation.
Is there a sustainable atmosphere and environment for human life?
There is.
Ha!
Sorry.
Oh, hi, Mal.
See, Logan. You guys just need to listen to Logan.
That was Mal.
That was Mal.
Oh, it was
He
Mal.
came
Good kitty.
right over to the microphone and yelled at the dog. So it was perfect.
All right. Well, I think the next step
Perfect.
is to deploy an away team. So all primary characters, you're with me. Ensign Doe, you have the con.
Okay.
Wait, Lieutenant Doe. Sorry, I blew up.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything else before you beam over?
I don't. Does anybody ideas?
Wait.
Wait.
What did you say we're gonna do? We're gonna go over there?
Yeah.
I would.
You would or wouldn't?
Brian was making a
It was
joke.
just a reference.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was not
But-
actual
but-
advice of any kind.
But also, like, how do we know that it's safe for us to be inside of it?
How do we know that it's a didgeridoo and not a didgeridoo?
No,
Okay.
No, Brian just said it's safe for to support human life.
Yeah, there's life support.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was dealing.
Yeah, there's life support and there's no life signs that
okay.
you can read.
There's no stabby life signs.
And besides, they always send an away party.
I mean, yeah, part of it is just like, this is just what a Star Trek episode is.
Okay, all right, let's go.
I've never seen it, sorry.
Well, I do like it to go.
I like the idea that Teal was reluctant, like genuinely reluctant and skeptical, and then somebody presented her with the argument of, this is just how these episodes go. And she's like, yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so who is in this away team?
Said primary characters.
I would say it. Yeah,
go.
Holden.
Does Eel
Goodspeed.
get to go? Because couldn't I do something over
Well,
there?
no. You know what? I'm gonna give Eel. He's in charge of the con, so he's got the Tempest.
Oh, all right.
I think Eel should be our
Go-to.
fourth in charge.
The sixth in charge.
I mean, he's like
Okay.
co-head engineer, so he's like Geordie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
No, so
like it.
so he's got the bridge when with the main
Well, he's
command
like-
crew.
He's like Barkley. He's Barkley's to Holden's Geordie.
Yeah, but how often was Barkley in charge of anything?
Never. No, that's a bad
Never.
idea.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
ever.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh.
Eel is way better than Barkley.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
me.
I know dick all about medicine, but I'm really good at some other stuff.
All right, fine. I'll
All
stay
right.
behind and everybody else have fun. Bye, guys.
No, I've got it. You can go.
Whoever's going, just you can send whoever you want.
All right. Yep. The main command crew and Eel is in charge of the bridge.
Okay.
Have fun storming the big thing.
Okay. So you pick a spot in the superstructure that seems to be looks somewhat like the command center, whatever their version of a bridge is, as your beam in spot. So you beam into this space. It is dark. It's musty. It's very dusty, and obviously nothing has
Musty and dusty.
really been active. This area has not been active in a long time. You can very easily tell. Around you is various kind of consoles and machinery, and it looks pretty similar to what your own bridge looks like, just on a much larger scale, and it's obviously of alien technology. But the basic kind of idea of this is where you would drive the ship and control everything comes across very clearly.
Nobody's there?
All of the panels are like a quarter mile from each other.
Yeah.
This is really inconvenient, guys.
Most of the panels are dark. Most of the machinery and computers and displays and things and whatnot are not active.
Okay. And nobody's there?
and nobody's
Is
around.
anybody there?
All right, well-
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Is anyone there?
Now that we're inside the vessel, let's get a tricorder scan. See if we can detect any other life forms in the area.
Ooh, let's check wall panels for dogs or kangaroos.
Okay, somebody do a science and control scan.
Oh, Lord, is it me again?
Yep.
Hold on.
Anybody?
This sucks. I'm sorry. The not this. Just the layout of the screens for the website is like,
Or
you
roll
know,
20.
yeah, you can't see what you're trying to.
You can
I can't-
separate out your character sheet into a separate window.
Yeah, I did, but
Oh.
it's still like I can't look at the background, and I can't move our dumb faces at the bottom.
Well, Tara, have a 3-screen setup like me. That's the easiest way to do it.
Oh, right.
Oh, I don't even look at the main
There
roll
is
20
just
screen.
Pompous ass.
there's a
Oh.
Oh, Jesus
boy.
Christ.
That was a bagel and a critical
kind of
bagel.
complication. Or
So
Critical.
she trips over a dead body, drops her tricorder, and activates the wake up alarm.
yeah,
And hits my head on the table.
yeah. Your tricorder doesn't give you any readings back, and it sort of triggers something in a control console nearby. But it almost seems like your sensor scans short out that console, or corrupt the transfer of information somehow corrupts things, and the console sort of fritzes for a second and then goes totally dead.
Perfect.
Are there any other working consoles anywhere?
Yeah, there's some around.
How about Holden and Goodspeed? See if you guys can somehow jerry-rig the... if we can get a basic idea of what the system status console might be, ship status, so that we can get more information about the ship.
All right,
You
Holden.
guys can...
Try and find things where are in a never mind. I'm gonna move on.
Hey, that
Holden,
is
you're
a man
with
who...
I give up.
I got
Freeze.
It really was that.
Freeze.
I was gonna say we should try and find out motherfucker.
Bring it back.
Let's start
Well,
over to where
that's-
the captain gave us an order, and then we follow it.
Where we are in a standpoint of status. That's it.
yeah, let's...
It was gonna be very good.
The status. Let's review our status here,
It's
Holden. Let's
gonna
look
be
at it
very good.
from a status.
standpoint of
the
status.
standpoint of status.
For some reason, standpoint was like just missing completely from my.
Yeah, it was standpoint.
It was
Not
just
gonna work.
completely gone from my vocabulary.
Gotcha. Holden, Goodspeed, see if you guys can jerry-rig one of these consoles to give us more information.
Okay, somebody, either one of you do a reason plus engineering difficulty 2.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Assist me, Goodspeed.
I have no reason.
One of you can assist.
You roll 1, I'll roll 2.
Okay.
1 success.
You got one so far. Need one more?
Reason and engineering.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Success.
Okay. Yeah. So you sort of start to get your head around the layout of the ship. You can see that there's, again, the same kind of division of labor that would exist on most starships. There's like an engineering kind of panel, a life support panel, a navigation panel. You can now tell that all these different consoles are the various systems of the ships. Is there anything in particular you want to investigate?
We were trying to find out what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd be curious to know kind of where they came from and where they're going.
Absolutely.
So any sort of navigational information, as well as if there's any sort of historical log records or anything of that nature.
Oh, logs. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. That stuff is pretty deeply buried. It's not going to be immediately discernible from what you're able to see. What you can tell is that the ship has clearly been in space for a very, very, very long time, centuries, if not millennia.
Centuries.
Oh, it's an ARC ship episode.
There's been nobody has made any kind of course corrections or course alterations or changes in speed in a very long time either.
So they just set it and let it go?
Perhaps.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah, at least stretching back several hundred years.
At what point in the episode are we going to learn that it's going to go into a sun?
Yeah.
Because at some point we're going to find out that it's going to go into a sun or another planet.
Where is it going?
I am actually specifically, yes, because both of the inspirations for this mission, it's this thing is going to run into a sun or a populated planet in 6 months. but it's been
Yeah.
floating for centuries. We're not doing this. We're not.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
What are the odds?
In the case of this vessel, on its current trajectory and at its current speed and current bearing, it will enter a nebula in about 70 years. That's along the Federation Klingon border. And in about another 100 years after that, it will actually enter Klingon space. And if nothing changes, it'll just keep floating in that direction for hundreds or thousands of years.
So its trajectory does not present a problem for anyone that we can tell.
No immediate danger.
Correct. It's not going to crash into a planet or a star in the next 60 minutes.
In the next 60 minutes. It's so weird that we found it just now.
Exactly.
How about we just flag it to the Klingons and then we're done?
Yeah.
Clap our hands and get on to the next mission. So at this point, it looks like our our next step should be trying to find...
Explore.
Yeah, trying to find those who are... If there's any inhabitants of this vessel, find them.
So is it currently like active in the sense that like it has the engine is running and moving it?
No, the engine is kind of like in idle mode.
Okay, so basically it's just adrift.
Well, okay, let me actually revise that a little bit. Yeah, so there's an impulse engine component to it, which is going at half impulse.
Okay.
But then there's some other kind of engine that is idled and not functioning. But the impulse engine appears to... So it's not adrift per se, but it's like somebody set it in second gear and just left it.
Okay.
Well, I don't think we're going to get any answers in this mechanical section. Let's see if we can get into the big cylinder.
Okay.
Well,
so
can we scan from here? Like, it should be able to scan its own cylinder section, right?
yeah, so you can actually find a console that will give you a basic layout of the whole system. And if you look at Roll20, you'll see my incredible artistic skills once again. You'll see a very basic map of the interior of the cylinder. Yeah. And I'll post this on Twitter so our listeners can enjoy it too.
Oh, it's a paint by number.
So Holden finds the layout console and manages to bring up I don't know what you would call it, a map, I guess.
Okay.
A diagram, schematic of the interior of the cylinder. And the interior is about 20 kilometers long and 2 in width. The interior is broken up into several different districts of various kinds. Some are like cities, some are towns, some are open space. There's a body of water in between like 2/3 towards the front of the ship with a bridge spanning over it, and then some other districts along the far side. On either side of the wall of the habitat are at various points what look like turbolift tubes that would lead from the superstructure section down into the habitat itself. And there's one actually very close to your position, conveniently enough.
Weird.
It's a whole civilization inside a tube.
Inside a big tube.
She's a predator.
Weird. What?
She's absolutely not a predator.
There's just some farmland. It's fine.
Yeah,
Can I try and get a live view of it as opposed to just a schematic? So that we can actually see if anybody in what their civilization is before we go in.
Yeah, go ahead and do a control and engineering difficulty 2.
All right. Real quick question. Focuses, values, and talents. Can you quickly give me the rundown of those? Like what those do?
Yeah, so focuses, for example, are various areas of expertise.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an area of expertise as a focus that applies to whatever task you're using, you can invoke it and say, I want to use this focus, and I will say, yes, that works, or no, it doesn't. If it does, any success you roll is
a double.
So yeah, if you roll 1 success, that counts as 2, 2 is 4, etc.
And we can basically use those regularly, correct?
Yeah, there's no limitation on how often you can use those.
Right.
A value, on the other hand, is something related to what your character believes in, feels strongly about, something related to your character's philosophy or outlook on the world. And that is related to what are called determination points, which is basically a point that you can spend that can do a whole number of things automatically that are very powerful, including you can take a second task during a turn, so you can immediately do something and then do something else again immediately. That's most often used in combat. So you can fire and then immediately fire again, for example, if you do that.
Gotcha.
You can use it to give yourself 2 automatic successes before you roll. So if it's a difficulty 2 task and you say, well, I'm just going to use my point of determination here, you get 2 successes and you automatically pass the task.
And we can only use that like once a mission, right?
You can only use that once a mission. Yep.
All right.
Unless you get more somehow through the course of the mission.
Yeah, or XP. We could spend XP for it too. But I'm just again,
exactly.
I don't need to go super. And then talents are.
And a talent is basically just a special ability that your character might have that will grant you some kind of special ability. So it might be in this kind of situation, you can re-roll your dice pool, or you can re-roll 1 dice in your pool, or something like that. Whatever your talent is, it should say specifically mechanically what it does.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'll have to pull up my thing. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up my talent list because I have jury rig, so I was wondering whether or not that would be able to be used here.
Okay.
But I also wanted to know, like, will that cost me anything to use it? It just means that I can't use it again this mission or something.
No, talents I think you can use whenever they apply, and talents are pretty powerful in that regard.
Gotcha.
No, we haven't utilized that at all yet.
We really haven't. I mean, occasionally we've had me like, can I sense something, or is that a talent, or that's just an ability?
That's an ability, yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know what my talents are. Can I touch my nose with my tongue?
Is that
Always
applicable
useful.
here, though, too?
Is that applicable here? Also, I think I need to take a $5 because my son seems to have shat his pantaloons.
Oh,
So it
Sorry.
begins.
well, he's not alone.
Yeah, I'm. Travis also has shat his pantaloons. All right, I'll be sorry. I'll be right back.
All right, so jury rig is to, when you attempt an engineering task to perform repairs, you may reduce the difficulty by 2.
Oh, wow.
However,
That's significant.
the repairs are only
Wow,
temporary.
That's powerful.
Well, if you do this, however, the repairs are only temporary and will last a single scene. And then once it's been applied, the difficulty to repair that device again increases by 1. So it makes it tougher to repair later if we need to. But it's repairing, and I'm not really repairing. I'm just trying to pull up a document, right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that would apply in this
absolutely.
situation.
Sorry. I was just double checking. I could have used it like before.
No, that's good. Yeah, you guys. We should take some time to like remember that talents are a thing because they are very powerful mechanically.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and try and pull up a live feed just to see if I can get it.
Okay.
Is Goodspeed still with us?
Sure am.
All right. I'm gonna do control engineering. Do you want to assist me?
I would love to.
Boom!
Wow.
3 successes.
Wow. Okay.
Do you even need my help?
No, I'm good.
Not really.
Okay.
Well, you guys are full of momentum, so.
While you were walking over Goodspeed, I just was like, never mind. Go away.
I'll help you with it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yes. So you're able to pull up a live feed of the interior of the habitat of the cylinder. You can spot various humanoid life signs spread across the space of the cylinder. They tend to be clustered at either ends for the most part, and it seems like there's the density of life signs is very low. In other words, that the city has a certain capacity to it in terms of the number of buildings and space that's there, but the actual life signs that you can read are well below what looks like that capacity is. If that makes sense.
Can we tell their level of technology?
Have you ever seen the like?
It took the Starfleet Corps of Engineers 6 months to tunnel all this out. What was the actual question?
What? Can we tell their level of technology?
Yeah, inside the habitat itself, there's not a lot of advanced technology. There are various what almost look like access stations of various kinds, and then there are also various kinds of ports within the floor of the habitats. But the majority of the actual habitat space and living space itself does not seem to be very high technology at all.
Okay, so the civilization doesn't seem to be beyond sort of basic. Are we talking like Middle Ages or?
Yeah, it definitely has a very like Ren Fair but very clean feeling to it.
Okay,
Really?
like they all do.
Yeah.
So this civilization clearly did not build this spacecraft.
Or they built it and then forgot it in time.
Ooh. That's the question, isn't it?
Regardless, they don't have the capability to understand the technology that they're on.
I don't know. I'll just talk to him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that we're going in at some point. I just wanted, like, now we're not trying to figure all this out as we're there, so.
Well, one other thing I want to try to pull up, because as we look at this live feed and we see that it's really sparsely populated and apparently does not meet anywhere close to the capacity that the ship presents, can we get like an original crew manifest to see the population that was on board the ship when it first departed wherever it left?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah, go ahead and do a reason and engineering. Difficulty 2.
2 successes.
Okay. Yeah, so you can tell based on what the ship's capacity is and what the life signs in front of you are that the ship is only has about 10,000 life signs, but at its full capacity, and this includes both the habitat and the superstructure area, which is also very extensive in and of itself. But if you took everything and put it all together, it would be capable of holding a few million people. But there's only 10,000 people, 10,000 life signs in the habitat itself.
They are now a member of an endangered species.
Let's go tag them all.
We found them all. Can somebody brief me?
We discovered the inhabitants of the spaceship there's about 10,000 in number, whereas the capacity is several million.
Whoa.
So that's a ratio we should probably look into, huh, guys?
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
Yeah,
here.
sure.
All right. And from these scans and the schematics, can we determine a city center, a cultural center?
Yeah. So the most densely populated part, or the most densely built part of the habitat, is in the top left corner, or I should say the back left corner of the ship, which is the most densely populated buildings, and then at the center of that is a tower that is taller than
A tower?
The tower.
Rapunzel!
And that happens to be near the turbo lift that happens to be near us.
And it just so happens to be near the turbolift that just so happens to be very near
sweet.
you. Yes.
Well, terrific. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Well,
I'm excited to be a part of
we
it.
have the prime directive to consider, though.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
if this is basically a,
Self-contained.
despite the fact that they're on this ship and they're on this advanced piece of technology, if they are showing medieval level technology within the vessel, then
That's what it said?
well, is that what you said,
yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, that's what we determined.
Medieval
Yeah, I mean-
level?
Well, it's
Technology-wise, yeah.
technology-wise, it's like it is mostly medieval-esque, but there are essentially various, there are bits and pieces of more advanced technology set up around it that are basically like computer terminals and what maybe might be something like a replicator somewhere built in there.
Is this just a floating Renaissance fair?
It is. It's a way to keep social distancing, but also still have a renaissance.
Oh, topical.
Topical.
Topical. Okay. Hey, TJ, you're good at costumes.
I'm listening. Well, I didn't.
What do you got?
If you're asking, I did not bring any costumes with me on this trip.
Not even your Renaissance pants?
No.
Not even your Romulan shoulder pads?
Millennium shoulder
Okay.
pads.
No.
Well,
No.
It seems as though we've
Well,
already
I have none of those things.
we've already accomplished one of our directives. We've determined the technological basis and capabilities of the inhabitants, not necessarily the starship. But there is no evidence of any warp technology on board this ship. Correct?
There is some kind of large engine at the back of the ship, or some kind of large
All right.
piece of machinery at the back of the ship.
Before we take the next step towards trying to make first contact here, we have to determine whether or not this species at any point was warp capable.
Okay. Tell me how you want to go about doing that.
Why do we have to know that?
Because the prime directive is not applicable if civilizations have warp technology. It's pre-warp industrial societies that we need to let develop on their own.
Oh.
So I think...
I know.
My guess would be that, yeah, we change clothes to something more fitting to the time and then just go interact with them to see if they know that they're on a giant ship, right?
Right.
That's probably a good idea. If we split up, we can do. I would like to see if maybe you and you and Goodspeed could take a look at the more dormant aspects of the engineering compartment of the ship, while Teal and I go off to, like you said, in incognito, sort of blend ourselves into the culture.
All right.
We could just tell them we're going to a costume party. Ooh, or we'll tell them we're from France.
That always works.
Yeah, they'll know what that is.
That works for
And by France, do you mean the other end of the cylinder that they're all living in?
Look, there's only so many ways you can make a Conehead reference and have this be applicable.
Yeah,
It's true.
Oh, I wasn't making a Conehead reference. I was talking
You
about
weren't?
no, I was talking about Data in
in Times Arrow.
Times Arrow.
Good pull.
When he
Wow, I
Yeah.
take my hat off to you.
Thanks.
Ryan, have you ever seen Star Trek?
I
Also,
just took a sip of water and almost spit it all over. Thank you, Brian.
Times Arrow is my favorite two-parter ever. So if ever I was going to make a reference, that's probably the one I've seen most.
It's a great two-parter.
Thanks, like I made it.
I appreciate all your work.
So, Goodspeed,
Good.
Goodspeed, Holden, see if you can get a better read on what the more dormant aspects of the engineering components of the ship are, and Teal, we'll go and see what the population is like.
All right, we'll go look and see if anything looks warpy.
Why don't we
Anybody got
do
anything warpy?
Why don't we do Teal and Maddox here for a second, and then we'll jump back to Goodspeed and Holden.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's a turbolift, what looks like a turbolift nearby that seems to lead down to the ship. Unless you want to do something else, I'm going to say that you get in that turbolift and ride it down.
Okie dokie.
Can they
Actually,
change in the turbolift?
Yeah, I would like
Oh,
to.
that's right. You wanted to change.
Yeah, I would like to see if there's any kind of if we.
We go to commercial and then we come back and they're changed. Done.
yeah. Okay. You look around. You find a locker compartment or something.
You find a
and
gym
find
bag.
some clothes. Yeah, that's magically or just very conveniently seem to fit you exactly as if they had been tailored to your
Oh.
bodies, but you just randomly found
Well,
them.
that's
And as do these
convenient.
facial prosthetics. How convenient.
Wow.
No
Terribly
facial prosthetics.
convenient.
No.
Okay.
No.
So
We're
I
the
need-
species. Never mind.
Yeah.
We don't need any, right? Or did you? I don't know what you are. What?
No, you're good.
You don't know what they look like.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we can put on like medieval clothes, and then it turns out they're all dog people, and we're still gonna stick out.
We still stick out. That is a really good point.
I'm assuming that the three
Hello.
successes of my scan, we match what they look like and go.
Yeah.
And go.
Okay.
Go for it.
Good enough. We brought with us
Party
a
pooper.
we brought with us a field replicator, so we created our own little getup. All right, so we enter the turbo lift and we take it to the what appears to be the center of their civilization in this tube.
Okay, so your turbolift rides down for what seems like an eternity, for a very long time. And eventually it comes to a stop. The door in front of you slides open and reveals a very small, dark room that seems to have some rooms and some buckets and other, various cleaning supplies like that. And then on the other side of this very small room is another door.
Go through the door.
Okay. So we entered the janitor's closet. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but clearly that means the turbo lift is not well known to the inhabitants. It's hidden in a janitor's closet.
Okay. Maybe.
Or maybe they revere janitors as gods.
Or that.
All right. Well, let's.
I do.
Yeah. We make our way over to the next door.
Okay, you open the door, you walk into what looks like a little shop, like a little old man shop. There actually is a little old man kind of on the other side of the room behind a counter. Not really, doing anything other than manning the counter. And yeah, there's nothing obviously high technology around you. It looks, again, very medievally, very Renaissance fairy kind of a shit, but kind of a setup, but very clean and orderly, more than an actual medieval town would be.
Walk in and be like, I am your god.
And as you walk in,
the
the old man slowly looks at you, doesn't say anything, just just kind of stares at you without moving and is totally frozen and doesn't really react in any way, but just stares at you.
Is he used to people coming in and out of that closet?
His face does not look like he is used to people walking out of his closet. No.
What do you think, Captain? I think we should go talk to him.
Yeah, let's talk to him.
Hi.
Hey.
So we
stumbled out of your closet.
we approach him.
Okay, what do you say exactly?
Okay, hello. My name is Rajay. This is Aurora. We're from a different sector of the
cylinder.
Don't tell them where we're from. They're stuck
That's
in
a good idea.
cylinder.
Hi, we're Rajay. We're Teal. How are you doing today?
Hi, we're new in Cylinder. What's your name?
We come from different cylinder. Who are you?
We come from Cone.
He does not say anything. He just continues to stare at you for a second, and then he sort of like he blinks for the first time in what feels like more than a minute, and then without saying anything, he runs towards the back of his little shop and goes through another door into the back of his store and disappears. And then
We follow him?
he does
and
that.
in a heavy German accent screams, "Alarm!"
Well, I think that went well.
So he does that to the right, which is the back of the store, and to your left is the front of the store, which leads out into the street.
Should we see what? I mean,
Well, now that
my
he's not
inst-
in the room, let's get a scan of the area. Let's bust out our tricorder and
alright.
see if we can.
You don't
find
want to
anything.
chase after him a little bit?
I mean, chase? No, I don't want to alarm him any more than he already is.
Do you want to a little bit
Yeah,
chase
but-
after him, or just chase after him a little
Yeah.
bit?
Just a little. Do you want to a little bit chase after him? Chase after him a little bit. He threatened in public to kill her. I just meant like to see if he's going to alert someone or like what his intent was there. Or we could just keep exploring.
My instinct is saying maybe we should just sort of quickly duck out of here and try to find a more populated area that we can kind of blend into.
Okay,
and
you want me to scan?
lose
real
ourselves in the
quick?
crowd. If we can, try to find a larger concentration of humanoids.
Do we need to scan, or should we just go use our eyes?
Or we can.
You can scan with
that?
your eyes.
Scan with our
I figure
eyes.
we're inside the building. Maybe we could get a peek outside the building without exposing ourselves. And you don't want us exposing ourselves.
Well, do a control and science scan, difficulty 1 if
I'll do
you
it.
want, or you can just walk out.
I haven't done one yet, so I'll do one. We'll do one. Here we go.
Who, me or you?
I just did it.
Oh, you did it.
Good job, Captain.
2 successes.
All right.
Very good. Yeah, you can tell that there's the particular shop that you're in is pretty small, and he seems to be the only person in the immediate vicinity.
What do they sell?
Yeah.
Brooms
What's for
and
sale
buckets
and-
and brushes.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't his janitor's closet; it was his inventory room.
Oh.
I'm making
Wow.
that up. I don't know what the fuck he sells.
Brian, you made the whole thing up,
I
darling.
made the whole thing up. Okay, yeah. So in the small shop that you're in, there are no other immediate life signs in the immediate vicinity. Out on the streets outside, you can sense a few life signs nearby. The tower that you saw on the map is also very close by, and there are several life signs at various levels in that tower.
Okay. Let's head on out.
All right, you head out into the street. You look around. It looks like normal daylight. It looks like a bright sunny day on any particular class M planet like Earth or anywhere else.
So we're looking up and we see a sky and we see the sun and we see
You
clouds
look up.
and everything
Yeah,
else.
you look up. You see a blue sky like you would on Earth, and you see a sun, but instead of just being a point of light as the sun would be on an actual planet, it's actually a strip of light that runs the length of the cylinder. So imagine if the sun were a line that stretched across an otherwise blue sky.
Weird.
Do we have any? Is there any facade of curvature to the sky to make it look like it's like we're on a planetoid, like a sphere, as opposed to just a cylinder, or is it just looks like a cylinder the whole way?
Yeah, it's There's no artifice in terms of making it feel like a sphere. The sky still feels like a dome because it is in a cylinder. And the cylinder is long enough that atmospheric haze, so our eyes judge distance by we can tell large amounts of distance two ways: the curvature of the Earth, which is what a horizon is, but then also atmospheric haze. So in this situation, there is no horizon, there is no curvature, but there is atmospheric haze that builds up over time. So the far end of the cylinder you can see, and there's not necessarily a horizon there, but it is far enough away that it looks hazy and far away.
Okay. So we go off and we try to we walk into the street, I guess, and just pick a point towards the tower, and we walk towards that.
Are the streets crowded?
Streets are not crowded. There's maybe a handful of people milling around. Say 4 or 5 people over the span of maybe 3 city blocks type of an area. They're mostly adults. They look human. In other words, they are aliens, but they don't have any crazy forehead appliances on them. They're the kind of aliens that look exactly like humans in funny clothes.
Got it.
They're mostly adults, but there is one woman who seems to be a mother with a small child tagging alongside her.
Do you see any elderly?
Yeah, there's a couple of them seem to be fairly advanced in age, maybe 60s. And it's hard to tell because they're aliens, but they seem like a human 60s.
It's not a Logan's Run. Got it.
It's not a Logan's Run situation, no.
Right. Because if it holds 1 million or whatever and is down to 10,000, I would like to talk to somebody and try to get a feel for how many generations have lived on this ship, like how long these people have been here.
Well, you know what? Maybe we could ask them if there's a church somewhere that we can go to, because I imagine if they have anything, it would be kept. If there's any kind of historical record, it could probably be kept in something akin to a Bible or a Quran or something like that.
Maybe a library.
Yeah, either one. Town library or church.
Well, okay, so there are a few people kind of going about their business in front of you. Most of them are adults of varying ages, from 30s up to 60s or 70s, and then there's one woman in her 30s or 40s with a girl that looks like she's 10 or 11 years old.
Okay, so let's approach them and see if they can direct us to a library or a church.
Okay. So you're going up. Who are you going up to specifically?
I'd say the mother and child.
Okay. You walk up to them. As you catch their attention, the woman, the mother, freezes, and it again becomes gape, like her jaw literally drops. She freezes in the same way that the old man in the store did. The girl is holding her hands and is also clearly shocked, but not like paralyzed with shock the way that the adults seem to be. And when you come up and you say, "Hi, my name is Raije, and this is Aurora," she actually does say hi and waves back. But at that point, when she starts to engage you, the mother grabs her by the arm and they run off in a different direction and out of sight.
Stranger danger. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait! Come back. We're not here to harm you. We just want to talk.
Nope, they're gone.
Okay.
Well then.
We sort of look at each other, and the camera zooms in on both of our faces, and then we look towards the distance, and then it fades to commercial, and we cut to back to Holden and Goodspeed.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are still in the superstructure part of the ship, examining and poking around the control center. Is there anything in particular you want to investigate?
We have been beamed to the engineering section.
Okay, you're moving to the engineering section.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you're in the very back portion of the ship. If you looked at my awesome 3D model that I made with my awesome 3D model skills, you'll see that there's kind of like a bevel towards the back part. So everything behind that bevel is the engineering section. So you're somewhere in there. on a catwalk with an enormous
On the catwalk.
Catwalk.
with an enormous machine of some kind that definitely looks to be an engine of some kind, just sprawling below you. That is, the machine itself is kilometers and kilometers in height and depth and everything.
So if the thing can warp, it's going to need a deflector shield. So we should probably look for any sign of anything powering a deflector shield, or warp nacelles, or a warp field generator, or other things that would come along with a warp field.
Okay, go ahead and do a engineering plus insight difficulty 2.
Okay, engineering plus insight difficulty 2. Holden, you want to assist me on this one?
Sure.
Okay.
Assisting. I didn't
Not
help.
assisting.
I didn't help. I got distracted.
Holden said sure, but didn't really mean it.
Yeah, exactly. I got 2 successes, and Holden played on his phone for a little bit.
Okay.
Ooh, high score.
You're able to discern that there is both an engine component to this and a reactor component to this. The reactor is on, it's stable, it's steady, but it is in low power mode. So it is outputting some amount of power, but it's not outputting nearly the amount of power that this engine would take if it were actually active. But it is putting out a small amount of power, which is going to various points in the ship, including the habitat itself and something on the front of the ship, which looks like a deflector shield or deflector dish.
All right. Well,
so it seems like the ship itself has warp capability then. Brian.
So, and this is where I will add that one of my focuses is starship design. One of my other focuses is warp field dynamics. And
it seems like he should be able to tell.
Seems like I could be able to tell it if it looks warpy or not.
Yeah.
Let me say this. It is definitely a faster than light drive. It is not necessarily a warp drive. Does that distinction make sense?
Does it make sense enough for the Prime Directive?
It depends on how you apply the Prime Directive. That's the great thing about the Prime Directive.
Oh boy. Well, what does Justice Scalia say about it?
So it does look to be an interstellar drive of some kind. And if you want to learn more about it, then you can. I'll let you do that with some more tasks.
Don't just take my word for it.
But at the moment, you can tell it's a faster than light drive of some kind, but not based around the principle of manipulating subspace the way your ship does.
It's probably enough for the Prime Directive, though.
Okay, so it brute forces its way through light speed. Got it. Okay, sure. So Captain Maddox, this is good speed.
Maddox here.
Yeah. So poking around the bowels of the engine here, this thing can definitely go faster than the speed of light. We've got strong indications of that. Whether or not it's a classical warp engine, it looks kind of weird and slapdash for that. But these guys can go faster than light if that scratches your Prime Directive itch.
It does.
So you can whip off your woolen costumes at this point and just start shaking people down for info.
We hope you enjoyed listening to part 1 of Above the Highest Sky. Join us next time as the crew discovers more about this mysterious ship and the timid people who live there. Until then, as always, we want to thank you, our listeners, for your support. It means the galaxy to us. If you haven't done so already, find and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and more, all under the handle Starship Tempest. And if you'd like to help keep the Tempest flying, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Starship Tempest. Thank you again for joining us, and until next time, we'll see you out there.